The crystalline halls of the Galactic Tribunal had never witnessed such an anomaly. Ambassador Sarah Chen walked through corridors designed for beings half her height, her heavy footsteps echoing like thunder against the delicate resonance chambers that other species used for communication. The atmospheric processors wheezed, struggling to maintain the precise environmental balance required for the dozens of alien species present, while simultaneously accommodating the brutal requirements of a human. 21% oxygen, crushing. Atmospheric pressure, and temperatures that would freeze the blood of most civilized worlds. Judge Zilthera of the Crystalline Confederacy adjusted her optical sensors, watching the human approach with a mixture of fascination and barely concealed revulsion. Humans were Deathworlders, creatures from a planet so hostile that merely surviving there required adaptations that bordered on the supernatural. Earth was classified as a Class D death world, a hellscape of violent weather, crushing gravity, toxic atmosphere, and predators so savage that most galactic citizens couldn't comprehend how intelligent life had emerged from such chaos. The key defendant may approach, Judge Zilthera's translator device chimed in mechanical tones. The other two judges, a floating gas entity from Nebula Prime and a hive mind representative from the collective worlds, flanked her position on the elevated tribunal platform. Sarah stepped forward, her movements fluid despite the enhanced gravity field that the court had activated specifically to contain her. What the judges didn't understand was that Earth's gravity was already twice what they considered manageable. Their restraint field felt like a gentle breeze to someone who had grown up under the constant pressure of a world trying to kill her. Human Sarah Chen, the gas entity judge wheezed through its translation apparatus. You stand accused of 17 counts of violating the Galactic Peace Accords, 43 counts of excessive force, and the complete annihilation of a Vrakthon battle fleet. How do you plead? Sarah's lips curved into what humans called a smile, an expression that exposed her predator's teeth and had caused 3 diplomatic incidents during her journey to the tribunal. I plead not guilty by reason of proportional response. The courtroom erupted in gasps, clicks, and harmonic distortions as hundreds of alien spectators reacted to her words. The concept of proportional response was foreign to most galactic species who had evolved on worlds where cooperation and avoiding conflict were essential for survival. Judge Zilthera's crystalline form shifted colors rapidly, a sign of extreme agitation. The records show that you single-handedly destroyed 14 Vrakthon dreadnoughts, each carrying crews of 10,000 beings. You call this proportional? They attacked a human colony ship, Sarah replied, her voice carrying the casual tone that humans used when discussing everyday matters. 700 families, 300 children. She paused, letting the numbers sink in. The Vrakthon opened fire on civilians. I responded accordingly. The hive mind judge buzzed with 1,000 voices speaking in unison. The Vrakthon were conducting a standard territorial enforcement action. Their weapons were set to disable, not destroy. Sarah's expression hardened and something in her posture changed. The subtle shift sent ripples of instinctive fear through the assembled crowd. For millions of years, their ancestors had been prey animals, herbivores who survived through camouflage and submission. Sarah's ancestors had been apex predators, who survived by being the most dangerous thing in any environment. Their disable setting killed 47 people, she said, her voice dropping to what humans considered conversational volume, but what registered as a predatory growl to alien ears, including my sister's daughter. She took a step closer to the tribunal platform, and Sarah noticed something she had been waiting for. The judges, beings who represented the ultimate authority of galactic civilization, unconsciously leaned backward. You want to understand proportional response? Sarah continued, her human eyes scanning the courtroom with the casual efficiency of a creature descended from pack hunters. On Earth, when something threatens our family, we don't disable it. We don't capture it. We don't negotiate with it. We end it so completely that nothing else will ever consider making the same mistake. The gas entity judge's form flickered with distress patterns. This is barbarism. Civilized beings don't. Civilized beings, Sarah interrupted, don't survive on death worlds. You're here judging me because your civilizations have never faced real danger. You've never had to make the choice between being noble and being dead. She gestured to the ornate courtroom around them. This beautiful court, your peaceful worlds, your elaborate laws, they all exist because there are humans standing between you and the things that want to destroy what you've built. Judge Zilthara's optical sensors dimmed. The uncomfortable truth of Sarah's words resonated through the chamber. For all their advanced technology and sophisticated laws, the galaxy's peaceful species relied on human mercenaries, human soldiers, and human settlers to handle the violent realities that they couldn't face themselves. The Vrakthon Empire spans 14 star systems, the hive mind judge protested weakly. They have fleets, armies, weapons of mass destruction. Had, Sarah corrected. Past tense. They're extinct now. Her tone carried the same casual indifference a human might use when discussing the weather. I didn't just destroy their fleet, I followed them home. I made sure that nothing with Vrakthon DNA will ever again threaten a human child. The silence that followed was profound. Sarah could hear the subtle sounds of alien physiologies adapting to stress. Rapid breathing, accelerated heartbeats, the quiet rustle of defensive postures being assumed unconsciously. She had made her point. Here's what's going to happen, Sarah continued, her voice now carrying the authority that came naturally to a species that had conquered the most hostile planet in known space. You're going to classify this as justified defense of human civilians. You're going to update your legal codes to recognize that humans operate under different rules because we come from a different reality. And you're going to make it very clear to every species in this galaxy that threatening human families has permanent consequences. Judge Zilthara's crystalline form had shifted to deep purple, a color that her species displayed only in the presence of apex predators. When she spoke, her voice carried a tremor that no translation device could mask. The tribunal finds the defendant's actions justified under the circumstances. As Sarah turned to leave, she noticed that every being in the courtroom had unconsciously assumed submissive postures. Not out of respect for the legal proceedings, but out of the deep genetic recognition that they were in the presence of something that could end them without effort or remorse. The Deathworlder walked out of their court, leaving behind a new understanding. Civilization was a luxury that could only exist under the protection of those willing to embrace savagery in its defense. Behind her, the judges remained standing in postures of deference, though they would never admit, even to themselves, that they were kneeling to the reality of what it meant to survive in a universe that wanted you dead.